Welcome to Neo Daily English, your shortcut to sounding natural. We go beyond the textbook to give you the phrases and fluency you need. New episodes every day to help you navigate real-world conversations. Level up your English, one insightful lesson at a time. Find your voice with Neo Daily English. Neo Daily English.
All right, let's talk about one of the biggest, most frustrating hurdles when you're trying to get fluent in English. You know what I'm talking about. That little translator that's always running in the back of your mind. We're going to break down how to finally turn that off and switch to thinking directly in English. It's going to completely change the way you speak.
You know that feeling, right? You're in a conversation, you've got the perfect thing to say, and then nothing. Your brain just buffers. It's like it's trying to load, searching for the right words, and by the time you find them, the moment's gone. Yep, you're not alone. That's a classic sign of a mental habit we're about to break.
So what exactly is this habit? Let's give this whole frustrating process a name so we know what we're fighting. We're calling it the translation trap. And trust me, it's probably the #1 thing slowing down your progress.
And there it is, the translation trap. It's when your brain is literally doing double the work. First, it comes up with a sentence in your native language, and then it has to translate that into English. It's totally exhausting, and it's the real reason for that buffering we were just talking about.
This just lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the translating brain. It's working so hard, but everything comes out slow, it takes a ton of effort, and a lot of the time it just sounds kind of weird or unnatural. But on the right, that's our goal, the thinking brain, where your ideas just flow out smoothly and naturally into English. Our whole mission today is to get you from the left side over to the right.
So, why is making this switch so incredibly powerful? I mean, it's not just about sounding a little better. It actually changes your entire relationship with the language on a fundamental level. Let's dig into the actual benefits.
And this is the payoff. It's huge. First, you just speak faster. Plain and simple. You're cutting out that middleman, that translation step. And that, of course, boosts your confidence like crazy. You can actually respond in the moment. It even makes you a better listener because your brain isn't struggling to translate what you're hearing. And, get this, it even helps your pronunciation because you start to actually hear the rhythm and sounds of English inside your own head.
Okay, so if thinking in English is so great, why isn't everyone just doing it? Well, it turns out there are a few really common mistakes that keep people stuck in that translation trap. Let's point them out so you know exactly what to avoid.
The first one, and honestly the biggest one, is just relying on translation too much. It feels safe, right? But it's like trying to learn to ride a bike with the training wheels on forever. You're never really going to get your balance. At some point, you just have to trust yourself, take them off, and give your brain a chance to figure it out.
Oh man, this next one is a classic, the obsession with perfect grammar. So many of us freeze up because we're trying to build this perfectly engineered, grammatically flawless sentence in our head before we even open our mouths. But here's a secret. Native speakers make grammar mistakes all the time. The goal is communication, not perfection.
And that leads right into this point, being terrified of making mistakes. That fear can be absolutely paralyzing. It can stop you from even trying. But you have to reframe this. Mistakes are not failures. They're just data. They're the building blocks of learning. Every single time you mess up, you're one step closer to getting it right.
And finally, a lack of immersion. Look, your brain is a creature of habit. It's going to default to whatever it hears the most. So if your whole day is 99% in your native language, your brain's never going to feel the pressure to switch gears. You have to intentionally build an English world around you to force your brain to adapt.
All right, enough about the problems. We know what the trap is, we know the mistakes to avoid. Now for the most important part, a super clear, actionable plan to actually train your brain. This is how you really make the switch.
But before we jump into the steps, I want this quote to really sink in. Fluency comes with practice, not perfection. This isn't about being perfect from day one. It's about building a new mental muscle through consistent, low-pressure practice. Remember that.
Okay, here are the 6 steps. Let's run through them. Step 1, narrate your world. Just describe what's happening around you in simple English. I am making coffee. The dog is sleeping. Step 2, actually talk to yourself out loud. Step 3, use an English-to-English dictionary. This is so key. It forces you to define new words using English you already know, not just translate them. Step 4, think simple. Start with short, easy sentences. We're not trying to be Shakespeare here. We're just building the habit. Step 5, start having your internal monologue, your inner voice in English. And finally, step 6, immerse yourself. Change your phone to English, listen to English podcasts, watch your shows in English. You got to make it the soundtrack to your life.
So knowing the steps is one thing, but the real magic, the real progress, happens when you weave them into your everyday life. So let's talk about how to make this a daily habit that actually sticks. And look, it doesn't have to be some huge, daunting task. Here is a fantastic, super simple schedule you could start with tomorrow. In the morning, just narrate what you're going to do. In the middle of the day, set a timer for 30 minutes where you promise yourself no translation. And in the evening, just write one single thought in an English journal. That's it. These small, consistent actions are what build a powerful new habit.
So what happens when you get stuck on a word? Because, it's going to happen. The most important rule is don't panic and do not switch back to your native language. Just stay in English mode. If you can't remember the word umbrella, just describe it. Say, that thing you use when it's raining. That simple trick keeps your brain thinking in English and keeps the conversation moving.
And that really brings us to the end. We've laid out the problem, the solution, and a clear plan. The only thing left to do is to actually start. So, I'll leave you with a challenge, a question to act on right now. What's the very first English thought you're going to have after this explainer is over? Make it simple and make it happen right now.
Well, that's all for today. Before you go on your way, let me know in the comments, what topics should we cover next? Your suggestions help shape this channel. If you found value in this lesson, hit that like button and subscribe to stay consistent.